What is the best aquarium fish you could ever own? With so many choices and so many different types, how can you even compare them? In this video, we are going to be rating 7 popular aquarium fish. We'll be using 4 elements as judging criteria: usefulness, aesthetics, personality, and toughness. Each fish will get a score from 1 through 5 on these elements. We'll be judging nano fish only, and only the ones that I have personally owned. Of course, this is based on my personal experiences and opinions. If your favorite fish is not on the list, let me know in the comments, and I'll consider adding it to my next tank. By the end of the video, we should have a clear winner. We'll start this list with guppies. These guys will eat melting plants and hair algae, but they are not as efficient as algae eaters or scavengers, so we'll give them a 3 in usefulness. Aesthetically speaking, they are one of the most beautiful fish in this hobby, but they don't quite reach the heights of some of the other fish on this list. They'll get a 4. What about personality? They are good with other fish, but the males can be very aggressive towards females. That's why a 3 female to 1 male ratio is recommended. Personality will be a 3. And lastly, toughness. A 5, no questions asked. Guppies will make it anywhere. That gives us a total of 15 points. Next on our list are green neon tetras. In usefulness, well, they don't really do much, so they'll get a 1. Aesthetics is a 4, because individually they are not as impressive, but once they start swimming together, they are an amazing sight. Now, their personality is interesting. They can live peacefully with any other fish, but if you have any fish that have a long, colorful tail, they'll pick on it, and it can get really annoying. They'll lose 1 point for that. So personality will be a 4. How tough are they? One of the most important things when choosing a fish is how well they can adapt to your tank in the first few days. Green neon tetras are impressive in this aspect, but not as impressive as guppies or other fish in this list. Toughness is a 4, for a total of 13. Next up, we got bettas. Personality is a 1. I don't think I need to explain that one. Usefulness is also a 1. I've never seen them eat any algae or melting plants, but if you have, let me know in the comments. Now, when it comes to toughness and aesthetics, they get a 5 on both. Their natural habitat is really rough, which makes them extremely hardy. And who doesn't think bettas are beautiful? If it wasn't for their complicated personalities, they would have rated way higher on this list. But sadly, their total is only a 12. If you are finding this video entertaining, please like and subscribe for more weekly content just like this. Our next contenders are Otocinclus affinis. By far, the most useful fish on this list. They are amazing algae eaters, which, if you have an aquarium, you know is pretty important. Usefulness, 5 points. The problem is, they lack in pretty much everything else. In aesthetics, I'll give them a 1. They are the least visually appealing on this list. They have a good personality, no issues with any other fish. but they get scared and stressed very easily to the point that it's harmful for them. They'll lose 1 point for that, bringing their personality score to a 4. Now, where they really lack is in toughness, especially in the first days after you get them. It's really hard to keep them alive. I understand that most of it is due to shipping problems, but it's something that anyone who wants to own Otocinclus will have to deal with. So in the end, toughness is a 1, for a total of 11 points. To continue with the cleaning crew, we have Pygmy Cutties. These guys are not algae eaters, but they are scavengers, which means they'll eat any leftover foods. Leftover food leads to algae, and overall, a dirty tank. In usefulness, they are quite up in the scale, but they don't make as big of an impact as Otocinclus do, and for that, we'll give them a 4. In aesthetics, they'll get a 2, because even though they are on the visually unappealing side, just like Otocinclus, they are undeniably cuter. Their personality definitely gets a 5. They are very chill, and they won't be afraid of you or any of their tank mates. For toughness, I think they are halfway through the scale. A 3 would be a good number. They can take a wide range of water parameters, but if an illness is introduced to the aquarium for any reason, they are one of the first ones to be affected by it, probably because of their small size. They get a total score of 14 points. Next up, we got German blue rems. In usefulness, they'll get a 1, because just like tetras, they don't really do much. Aesthetics is definitely a 5. Personality is a 3, because they are territorial fish and can be pretty aggressive towards each other. When it comes to toughness, they are not the best. They are very sensitive to changes in the aquarium, especially when first introduced to a new tank, and they require warmer temperatures than most. I don't remember buying German blue rems and not losing a few in the first couple of days. In toughness, they are getting a 1, so 10 points total. And finally, our last contender, Dwarf Gourami. And it goes like this: aesthetics, 5, for obvious reasons. Toughness, also a 5, also for obvious reasons. They are related to bettas. That should tell you how tough they are. Usefulness is a 3, because just like guppies, they eat melting leaves and hair algae. And lastly, personality, in which they get a 4, because even though they are related to bettas, they are way more chill. In my own experience with gouramis, they are the most peaceful fish I've ever had. But I know people who have bad experiences with them, and because of that, they get a 4 instead of a 5. Their total score is a well-deserved 17, which easily puts them in the top of our list. So there you have it. The best aquarium fish you could ever have is a dwarf gourami. Maybe.